One of the real personal privileges of having been associated with the Balsams and Dixville Notch for so long is that I was one of the first in the nation voters. Dixville Notch is the first town in New Hampshire. Because New Hampshire is the first town of the first state in the United States to hold primary elections, Dixville Notch thereby becomes the first town in New Hampshire to cast its ballots. And we do so by gathering all of the voters of the town together just before midnight, and we build individual voting booths for every voter in the town, some 20 to 25 people, and we wait until the stroke of midnight and pass by the ballot box and cast our ballots. And so something that takes about 30 seconds to accomplish for our town then goes all around the world with people interested in, yes, how we voted, for whom we voted, but really from my perspective, that we voted. The most wonderful feeling comes from being part of this privilege that's so core to being an American, and to be doing it and managing it all on our own. There are no foreign observers, there are no state observers other than folks who are interested in the process, and nobody's carrying any weapons. We're about to begin the change of the most powerful elected leader in the history of the human race. And it happens in a little town like this at midnight with no real fanfare, but with a real sense of appreciation for our Constitution and a personal feeling of patriotism that I know is shared by all of my fellow townspeople. One of the interesting facts of life about the voting tradition in New Hampshire, voting first with the first primary, is that lots of towns, small towns in New Hampshire, wanted to be first, and there was actually a competition for the first several elections, and with half a dozen or more towns trying to be first. Eventually, it was kind of hard to beat Dixville Notch, not only because we had such a small population, but because we're a large hotel as well. We had all kinds of telephones to offer the press to use to announce our first in the nation vote. And in other small towns, they didn't have those telephones. But to officially commemorate the fact that Dixville Notch is the official starting place for the New Hampshire primary, Governor Sununu and the Governor's Council came here to Dixville and held a Governors and Council meeting in 1987 in the ballot room, and they awarded the town of Dixville a commemorative document that says we are the official starting place for the first in the nation vote in New Hampshire, and they gave us a ballot box here that was made at the state prison out of yellow birch, New Hampshire yellow birch, and it's a beautiful box. It actually is large enough to hold every ballot we've ever cast.